This is the PioCreat HALOT X1, a very unique resin printer. In this video, I'm going to give you my first impressions after testing and using the machine for several weeks. If you're in the 3D printing space, you've probably never heard of PioCreat, but you've almost definitely heard of Creality. PioCreat is an independently operated sub-brand of Creality, and from my understanding, the HALOT series of resin printers that were previously branded as Creality will now be made entirely by PioCreat. Full transparency, PioCreat did send me this printer to test out, but they have zero creative control on anything I say in this video. All of the opinions and talking points are my own honest opinions. In the box, you get the printer, a bag of typical items to get you up and running, a 3-month subscription to Chitubox Pro, and a plastic bib. So what makes it so unique? The HALOT features a 10-inch 16K mono LCD, self-leveling, a build volume of 211 by 118 by 200 millimeters, Wi-Fi, and for its truly unique features, a twist-to-release build plate, and a rising vat that looks straight out of a sci-fi movie. The exterior body of the machine is plastic, features a flip-open lid, has rubber feet on the bottom, a top-mounted USB port, next to a 3.9-inch touchscreen display, whatever this thing is, and a power rocker switch on the bottom next to the power cable. The HALOT is very compact and actually feels really well built. The internal components feel especially well built, with thick dual linear rails and a vat that clips in place with no screws or knobs to tighten. Just set it in, close the clamps on the sides, and it snugs itself into place. One thing I didn't really like about the vat is that it has no feet on the bottom, so if you set it down on a counter or other surface, the bottom of the FEP sheet is not protected and could make a mess if you have spilled resin. One of the best features of the vat is the pour spout. It's big and has good sidewalls to confidently funnel your resin back into the bottle. The build plate is held in place by its own mechanisms. Again, no knobs, no things to twist in place. Just slide it in, and when the print starts, it locks in place. This entire system did feel a bit wrong on the first few prints, like you're forgetting a step or something, but it all works surprisingly well. And I thought it was pretty cool to see the plate get locked in place when the print starts. There is an optional combo version of the machine that comes with the Resin RFID automatic loading and unloading system called an AFU that I told PioCreat I prefer not to test, so I don't have an opinion on it. I hardly ever use auto refill systems on machines, but for some people, this could probably be a good option. The touchscreen is on the top of the machine, which I thought was a great choice. I'm very tall, and it's nice to have to not squat down to navigate the touchscreen. The touchscreen UI feels good, it is clean, easy to navigate, and responsive. Once you load a file, whether it's from USB or Wi-Fi, the printer will also store the file on its internal memory, which is nice for print farms or if you print the same thing often and want the machine to be completely offline. The HALOT comes with 2 slicer options on the provided USB, HALOT Box or a 3-month free trial of Chitubox Pro. The website was a bit confusing on how to download the slicer programs, but both are pre-installed on the provided USB. The instructions mention making a Creality cloud account, but I tested both of these slicers without making an account. HALOT Box was pretty good. It was a little clunky, but it gets the job done. It has all the features you would expect from a typical slicer. One of the cool features unique to this printer is that it shows the light zones that will be used from the LCD display while slicing. This is supposed to increase the life of the LCD by printing on different zones. Chitubox Pro is Chitubox Pro. It is a lot snappier, and I'm personally more used to the systems of Chitubox, even though I prefer to use older builds, which can be a downside of this printer. As far as I know, there are no print profiles for the HALOT X1 on older builds of Chitubox, so you need to either use the provided HALOT Box slicer, pay for Chitubox Pro when the 3 months runs out, or make a custom profile. I did not test Lychee, but it looks like there is also no supported profile at the time of making this video, but it is possible one will be added in a future update. For test prints, I used a thicker validation matrix because I wasn't sure how the plate release mechanism would work on such a flat print. And I also used the Cones of Calibration V3 on the machine's default exposure settings of 1.5. The prints were a little bit bloated and overexposed on the default settings, so I dropped it down to 1.2 seconds, and they looked a bit better, but I started getting a fail on one of the sides of the cones. I also was unable to get the sword to clear the skull in the test. and I could not get the water to fit in the mug. This could possibly be dialed in further, but I wanted to keep the test as close to out-of-the-box printing as possible, so I kept all my prints at 1.3. For my prints, this wasn't a big deal, but if you need perfect dimensional accuracy for other applications, this could be an issue. So how is the overall printing experience, and how does it print? When printing on the machine, I wanted to choose models with super high detail, so I printed several amazing busts from Photos Mint. This Mimir bust, also by Photos Mint, was printed as a build volume test using the HALOT box auto supports, and it printed beautifully. I actually preferred the auto supports in HALOT box over T2 Box Pro. These photos are all under very harsh lighting, and you can see all the sharp details. I also printed this Ryu print from Wicked 3D as a support stress test using the T2 Box Magic supports, and it printed close to perfect, other than me breaking off his belt and having to glue it back on. My overall printing experience was really good. The prints all looked really good with great details. The twist to release plate was a bit awkward to get used to at first, but after using the machine for a week, I started to like it. The twist mechanism works well for releasing prints, especially larger prints and prints using rafts. The only thing I didn't like was on prints where I did not use rafts, there would be some residue from the support faces I'd have to manually scrape off the plate before cleaning it off and setting it back in the machine. So is the twist to release build plate a gimmick? I don't think so. It worked well, had great adhesion, and is a welcome innovation. Anything that makes the process of resin printing easier is always welcome. The entire system works really well, and as a side note, I had 0 print failures during my entire time of testing. So what are my final impressions on the HALOT X1? They are surprisingly positive. The machine is well built, prints great, and I think it's competitive at its mid-range price point. It may not be perfect, but it is refreshing to see PioCreat at least trying to innovate and push the HALOT forward in a space that has felt very much the same for the last few years. They have also been great with communication and are extremely receptive to feedback. They are listening to consumers, and even if this printer doesn't interest you, I would keep an eye out for future releases from PioCreat. I think this is a solid foundation and a step up from previous HALOT machines. Thank you as always for watching, and please like and subscribe for future content.